Welcome to the flowerschool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute, and today I'm here with my pumpkin to share with you how to create a fabulous pumpkin arrangement. Halloween isn't just for the kids and trick-or-treating. Halloween is for flower lovers too. To begin with, you want to hollow out your pumpkin. Easiest I have found is an ice cream scoop. Scooping it out. That way you can get it all emptied. Then, once it's empty, spray the inside of the pumpkin with Pam cooking spray. I know you got to raid the kitchen cabinet, but if you spray that, it makes it last so much longer. Then, a plastic liner with foam set down in. Now, I like to use the top as well, so I go ahead and take the top. I'm going to attach it using wood picks. So it's just the standard wood picks. I use the 6-inch variety, remove the wire, insert it into the flesh of the pumpkin, and then to lock it into place, I use the Oasis Floral Adhesive. Just glue a bit. I've already done that so that it's dried and set. Now all I need to do is place this right down into the foam and let it set atop the pumpkin. Now I have the perfect space to add in flowers, and it can be anything. I've chosen some of my favorite autumn with sunflowers and roses and lilies and rose hips too. I also like to use foliage, and for this I'm going to use the shiny leaves of a camellia. It's a locally grown bush around here that we can get, and it's so lush and shiny. Just tucking it down in. It's very woody, so oftentimes it's easier to break it than it is to cut it. I'm doing mine all the way around so that it looks good front, back, and sides. Makes it a nice centerpiece for a party. Then maybe some foliage that's not quite so shiny. The more matte finish of ruscus, tucking that in as well. Get a little variation on the green, and then going back and adding the flowers. Use the sturdy things first, like the sunflowers. They're nice and strong, will go in easily, making sure they settled right down into the foam. Them nestled in. Maybe a couple of them nearby. Coming out the opposite side. And the vibrance of the red roses, almost velvety in their color. Tucking them in. Maybe doing a shorter one, tucked a little bit lower, pulling your eye inward. Make sure it goes down into the foam. There we go. Off to the other side. Another longer one. So varying the length so that they don't look all stiff. Gives you a little more beauty. Over here. Another sunflower. You can see you can randomly place things, getting them tucked in so beautifully. Then the lilies. I do the lilies last because I don't want to break their petals, letting them come a little bit out above and over the other blooms. I certainly don't want to stop here. I want to add more texture, more autumn color. A bit of leucadendron, breaking it down, and then tucking it in. Bring it out here with the sunflowers. Maybe a little bit of sedum. Has such great texture. Pulling it down a bit, and then tucking it in. You can see the color variation, the texture variation. All of a sudden is so much more interesting. Coming out to the other side. Maybe a little bit around to the back. Because of course, it's not truly a back, it's just the other side that goes all the way around. A little more of the leucadendron. maybe another lily. Bringing it down in the front with the sunflowers. Finding a hole, there we go. Nestling it down in. And then looking at it, turning it, checking the sides, making sure it looks full and lush, no matter which direction you turn it. And tucking in more flowers, more beautiful, until it's done. Last, I'm going to add a few of the rose hips. They're softer, littler, a little more feminine. Changes the whole look. Tucking these in, a few falling off here. Tucking them down, finding a hole, scooching things around, letting them come out a little bit longer than the other materials. Over to this side. We find these coming up towards the top. And at this point, it's a little bit challenging sometimes to find the hole to place them into the arrangement, but it's worth the effort. Just kind of shift things around, find a spot where you can nestle the stems in. Saving the rose hips to last like this lets me fill in little holes. And the stems are so strong and so small that they're relatively easy to just weave in and insert down in those tiny little holes that are left. Once you're completely done, spray the pumpkin and the flowers with Crowning Glory to lock the moisture in. Then to be safe, you want to protect the furniture because it is an organic material, and although you've lined it, it's going to begin decaying. So whenever I do a pumpkin arrangement, I set it on a glass plate so that I can protect it from doing any damage to the tabletop. That way it's set up, you don't really see it, and you don't have to worry about having this leak onto the table. For more creative inspiration, check out our website at flowerschool.com. If you've got questions, you can reach us through the website or pick up the telephone at 1-800-819-8089. And I do love to see your pictures. Take a picture of your pumpkin arrangement and send it to me. You can use my personal email. It's Leanne, L-E-A-N-N-E, at floraldesigninstitute.com. Now it's your turn. Have fun and do something you love.